I think we're live. I think. Yeah, we're probably live. I don't know why staring at the camera is going to solve that problem. It's the connection. Welcome. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you've done that, thank you. We're going to be on to 1,390, or hopefully just 1,400. Can't do it without your help. I'm not here to lie to you like a Jimmy Donaldson and say subscribe for a cookie, 100% real. If you've seen that poster in the back of any of his videos when he was younger, I put it as the thumbnail. Although I don't know why lives get different thumbnails. I gotta go back and change them all. Seen one of my live thumbnails and it wasn't what I picked, so I'll repost the thumbnail so you can see it later. But yeah, weird that this kid thought he could promise everyone that subscribed a cookie and put 100% real on a poster next to a chocolate chip cookie. I'm still pissed. This is one of the controversies that needs resolving. Legal Eagle, I know you're out there on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. But I need you to comment on whether or not he owes 307 million people a cookie. Does MrBeast owe millions of cookies to people? I guess if we all demand it, which I think we should. Then there are other people who say, who wants a cookie from MrBeast? I'll take a cookie from almost anyone, as long as it's sealed and I saw it made. All right, maybe I wouldn't take a cookie from anyone. Prepackaged? All right, I'll do that. There aren't many very good prepackaged cookies, though, let's be honest, okay? There's the Milano. And I think that's it. All right, welcome. We're going to talk about a few different things tonight. The MrBeast stuff is wildly out of control. It is insane. I've been trying to keep up with it because that's a very small, minutia. What's minutia mean? As a minute creator, it's fascinating to watch, but it's even more heartbreaking to see what happens to people after they get some money, some power, some clout, some whatever. Veen, hello, bro. You're from Brazil? I know Brazil, but Brazil. Search, Google. I don't know what that means, but I ain't gonna say it. But welcome, Veen. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. How is it in Brazil right now? How's the weather down there? It's been nice and chilly up here. I don't know if you watch MrBeast or if you've been following along with the MrBeast saga. Rue Playboy. We're gonna free Pooh Shiesty tonight. Grab your Switch. Oh, doggy. I don't know what's going on with Pooh Shiesty, but Blue Skull, what up? MHA theories? What are MHA theories? Do you know Wisconsin? I do. Do you? Joseph Kirby. Mainland China. And the CCP wants me. What is it? Chinese Communist Party wants you gone? Oh, man, I'm good with the Chinese Communist Party. Come on, Joseph Kirby. And Joseph Kirby, that's quite the name to be from mainland China. From Oklahoma, what is up? Abdul Wahid Butt, hi. Hi, Brazil too. What's up to all my homies in Brazil? We're going to talk about some Mr. My Hero Academia theories. Oh, clever. I like the title. Kid Bengali is one of the best film actors in Brazil. I like his name, I'll tell you that. Old Kid Bengali. You're so flippin' hot. Is the screen on correctly? I think you... maybe you're not wearing your glasses, but thank you. Anand the Goat. The Goat. Spirit Reaper. Hi from Texas. Anand the Goat. No, I don't. I'm married. Thank you very much. Anand the Goat. Happily married for quite a while now. So we're going to talk about MrBeast. And again, if you're new, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also know that as long as YouTube doesn't glitch, they had a glitch there for a while where they were deleting my descriptions. I will put all the links to the stuff I talk about down in the description. Eyewitness, Jesus loves you, and he loves you too. Just so you know that. He loves everybody, let's be honest. Well, not some people, you know. Jesus had a couple of moments where he's flipping over tables when people are enacting capitalism in his church, in his father's house, and he flipped them tables over and said, "You motherfucker better get out of here." So yeah, Jesus don't love certain people, but the rest of us, he does. John Joe. Oh, here we go. I love when we get the spammers up late at night showing us how big his finger muscles are. Yep. John Joe, are you lonely? I gotta imagine it's a very lonely night for John Joe. Anyways, so the MrBeast stuff, Spirit Reaper. I love your handle, Spirit Reaper. I hope you're a creator. It seems like a creative. Oh, John Joe and Joseph Kirby. I gotta believe that they're sitting together somewhere. Somewhere in their mama's basement, going, you know what would be funny, guys? Ball sack. That's gonna crack them up. I love it. I love it. John Joe, you know he doesn't create. With an avatar like that and a name like that, you know this guy's just randomly trolling every live he can get on. He's gonna go, guess what, guys? This is gonna be the funniest thing. Girls are gonna adore me. Watch how quick I can spam this. John Joe, clever. But I gotta ask you if you could hit subscribe and the notification bell. Because I mean, with a chat like that, you are the hero of the chat. Biggest keyboard warrior we got out there. Actually sing on a different app. TikTok? Are you on TikTok? Is that one? Oh, what's up, Bandito? Spammers have chafed pencil pricks. I wouldn't even say that. Spammers just, you know, they're very lonesome people. I don't know if you guys know what an incel is. Incels are like the guys that, you know, are very mad at the world. They think women owe them something. They can't understand why girls don't like them. And you're seeing how an incel is born right here. People that act like this, you know, not only are they probably inadequate socially, but I would imagine it's just very hard for them to communicate. So what they do is they find one thing that they're like, this is the thing, guys. Like, I'm going to say I got a scar on my ball sack. And I'm going to keep copying and pasting that. And man, oh man, people are going to love it. So, wait, what did Sushi say? There's Sushi P Wasabi. That's a good one. I'm gonna steal that. Doveland. What is up, man? What's up? Star Maker. Oh, I haven't even heard of that app. That's cool. You should take all those videos from Star Maker, bring them over here. A lot of people do that with TikTok. All right, so we're gonna talk about MrBeast. And that's John Joe. That's what it is. He heard me say I'm gonna talk about MrBeast. He wants to defend him. So this is how they try to silence the critics. But let's just be honest. If you saw the thumbnail, and I'll repost it, Jimmy Donaldson had a poster that said, subscribe for a cookie, 100% real. Nobody that I've talked to, nobody in any of my chats has ever said they got a cookie from MrBeast. And that's starting at the beginning of his YouTube career. Could you imagine basing your YouTube career off of a lie? Like if I told you to subscribe for $1, you know, what's the difference? A cookie might even, depending on where you get your cookie, it might be more than $1. And I don't say that. Why? Because, well, I ain't sending everybody $1. I ain't got that many dollars. But more importantly, because that would just be a lie. I don't mean it. I tell you to subscribe because I talk about news, news, entertainment, and I make commentary. News Terry. That's what it is. News-tertainment Terry. That's what it is. News-tertainment Terry. That's what this live stream is. We figured it out. You're doing it wrong, buddy. I'd have to say it, John. You're definitely doing it wrong, homie. So Oh, how do I? Here we go. Um, so, yo, I don't know if you guys can see what it says in the chat. It says John Joe is timed out for 86,000 seconds. That's like a MrBeast channel right there. Like, can you time somebody out for 86,000 seconds? CC, I don't know. I wouldn't even pay it. Yeah, get well soon, John. I hope you're okay. That's probably some like 14-year-old kid, because you pray that these people aren't over 14. Talking about, his sack. I don't even know. You just wonder if like these people have the saddest story, or if it's like one that's a very vicious story, because that's the only really things. They're either very sad people or they're very vicious people. um all right, so let's get to talking about MrBeast. There are a few videos that I linked down below. Mujin did an hour and a half expose walking you through the entirety of the MrBeast saga up till now. Then there's another YouTuber called Camnuggets, who makes excellent 10 to 20 minute videos. I look like a carpenter. Jesus. Jesus was a carpenter. Well, his dad was a carpenter. And both of these YouTubers have been, Camnuggets have been covering the story. And as of recently, I finally dived down the Ava Kris Tyson rabbit hole. I didn't know they gave phones to people in mental asylums either, right? You would think if he was in a that's the sad part about this. Like, he's definitely not, right? That's a funny joke, though. He's definitely not. But if he is, why wouldn't he be saying, like, get me out of here, or somebody come pick me up? But that's the stupidity of that guy. But that is a funny joke, Spirit Reaper. I like you. I like you. Oh no, my iPad's not working. You're kidding me. It's not gonna work. I wanted to show you some of the stuff that's been leaking from MrBeast. So one of the things MrBeast's, actually no, let's get into Ava Kris Tyson. So Ava Kris Tyson used to be Kris Tyson. I didn't know much about the transition. I watched this Mujin video, hour and a half long. I guess it all happened pretty recently. I'm not an avid MrBeast fan, so I check in to see on MrBeast videos if there's any kind of controversy or something irregular about them. Something really big. I'll check it out. But other than that, just not normally watching them. I did not MrBeast shadow ban you. I believe it, yo. I believe it. But this stuff is fascinating, and what's fascinating is about it is you see these kids that were once semi-normal children, right? Because they were babies when they started this channel, right? I think they were just out of high school, maybe in college age. I don't even know. He might have been in high school when he started this channel. And to watch them become monsters, absolute monsters, in respect to what each of them have done, is heartbreaking, because I've always thought, right, or even when I was earning a lot of money, like, I wanted to treat people better. You know what I mean? Like, when I was earning a lot of money and I had to hire people, I would pay them as much as I could. I wanted to take care of them as best I could. I wanted to, quote unquote, share the wealth. I would rent houses, invite my family to go on the vacation, and not charge anybody anything. Just, I got money, let's go. And to witness people kind of do the opposite is sickening. And then to see on the other side, Ava Kris Tyson, their discords were leaked, their Discord chat, and this dude, who was clearly taking advantage of his position at the time, as MrBeast #2 guy in the Discord, luring kids in, getting them to work for him, and then being wildly inappropriate. And I'm talking about, like, I worked in radio, and in radio you don't really think of people as coworkers, even though they are. You consider them more of a family because you wake up real early, you're with them most of the day, you do all sorts of events, whether it's movie premieres or fun, different weird thing. Like we went to, man, I'm trying to think, like Padres get like baseball game, sporting event, like anything within the city, right? You do all this stuff together when you work in entertainment, or at least in radio. I don't know how it is with TV and other things. So we would have like wildly inappropriate jokes, but it was never in a sense of like we were hiring people to take advantage of. You know what I mean? Like it was very much uh it was like a family. I don't know how else to put it. It was like, with your family, you obviously got some jokes that you wouldn't say outside the or not even outside, but like inside jokes. That's the only way I can kind of compare it, because it's so apples to oranges. Because what Ava Kris Tyson did on Discord wasn't even close to, anything family oriented or anything like that. But, there are just some things that like you're more comfortable saying around people because that sense of humor, right? Family away from family, but because it's not even family, it's like going out with your friends, but like your best friends that you've known forever, right? And I hope that MrBeast doesn't try to hide behind that excuse. Like we saw Trump do it and his wife say like, "Oh, it was locker room talk, that's why he was saying the things he said." But that wasn't true. That was bullshit. And this Ava Kris Tyson, the stuff that was leaked, I mean, I listened today to audio of when he was Chris saying some messed up stuff that you should never be saying, to people that work for you. And that's the other thing. Like we were coworkers. Nobody was a boss employee. But he was hiring young kids to do editing, to work for him, to whatever on the internet, whether it was on Discord or, videos, whatever it was, it did not matter. And they obviously looked up to him because he was MrBeast, and MrBeast doesn't get any bigger. Like he is the face of YouTube. And I'm not going to go into the things said. Again, that's why I linked the videos below. But I will tell you that hearing some of this stuff, seeing some of the chats, seeing the responses, the people speaking out now, the ones that are whistleblowing, the ones that are coming out and calling them out, which, good for them, because it's got to be hard to come out against somebody with 307 million subscribers that is the face of YouTube and say, "Hey, this is what's good, man." "Oh, what's up, Jacob? Good to see you." We're talking about Ava Kris Tyson. We're going to talk about MrBeast. But essentially, Ava Kris Tyson was grooming these kids that she hired. They were young. I forget if they were 13 or 15, 13 and 15. But I mean, young teens, and at the time, I think Chris was 20, 21, something like that. And it's demented stuff. And there were other not recollections, but other leaked Discords with Jimmy, MrBeast himself, being in these Discords, witnessing how Chris was acting, and just not only ignoring it, but playing along, thinking it was okay. And I mean, MrBeast, here's the thing. MrBeast understands that he's big business, right? Listen to him in any interview where YouTubers or whoever's interviewing him asks him about the Beast brand and creating content for 300 million subscribers, or, how serious he takes his videos. He'll tell you. He takes this stuff very serious. He understands how serious he needs to take the Beast brand. So if he in any way tries to come out now and play this off like, "Oh, I wasn't aware," or, it was hard. I don't know what the excuse is, because this is my other issue with MrBeast. This motherfucker said nothing. He said nothing. He had one tweet where he said, "Oh, I'm aware of it," or "I'm just learning, and it's going to be independently investigated." Bro, not good enough. That's your right hand man. If your right hand man gets caught like that, you say, "You know what? We're distancing ourselves real quick. Uh, the there is no room for what I've learned of," and that's the thing. That's why you could tell this whole tweet that Jimmy posted about Ava grooming these kids, and being just nasty in these discords to employees. I keep calling them kids, but they were also working for Chris at the time, MrBeast at the time. And the reason this story, and I waited to kind of talk about this stuff, they had an endless supply of children discussed. They really did. You know, that's the, oh yeah, double, double, no, I'm not saying that because that ain't true. This is totally not true, but that is funny. And that's exactly what MrBeast did with the cookie thing. Double tap the screen to win a Cybertruck. Imagine if I said that, right? I got 10 million likes. And then I was like, oh, you thought that was real? Like, MrBeast, answer for that. Send us a fucking cookie, kid. You got the money. Money won't fall us on the day of judgments. That is true. Amen to that. Well, and so this is what really bugs me about learning about Ava Kris and learning more about MrBeast and how he runs his business and how he allowed this right in front of his face. Like, he's in the Discord chat watching his boy, his best friend growing up together, talk like this to not only employees, but kids. And just not at any point being like, bro, we're running a business here. Like, yo, fucking cool it. You know, like, shows me that not only do they not, respect, I don't know, humanity, but money, the power, like, it brings out, I don't know. Some people say, like, whatever you are, it accentuates that, or it heightens it, or it makes it bigger. I think it could also bring out a poison, like a toxicness. But I also think it has the potential to be amazing. And I'm sure, listen, here's the other thing that people always give me a hard time about. I understand MrBeast runs philanthropy stuff. I understand he does good things, and that's commendable. I think that's amazing, You also understand that he does those good things to film them. Like, he ain't doing those things quietly. In fact, if there's anybody that has been positively affected in a quiet way that wasn't for a video, if you want to defend MrBeast, now's the time. You know what I mean? Like, now's the time to come out and be like, yo, this guy helped me. He never filmed it. He never said anything about it. Like, now's the time to speak up, because that's the only way that MrBeast's career doesn't get totally derailed. He's got to get some good karma from people who were like, yo, he stayed quiet about this, but I just want to let you know the character of his. That's not happening right now. What's happening right now is, like, the people who have been his victim or victims to his company in a greater aspect of, like, other people that were close with him are all coming out. They're going, now's the safe time. And that's why you see this kind of avalanche of people speaking out, because once one person is brave enough, and this is such a simple concept, I try to teach my kids too. It's like, if you're brave enough to speak out, you don't even know how many other people might be feeling like that, but just are terrified. And they could look or act like the toughest person in the room, but they might be holding it all in because realistically, they're terrified. And that's what you're witnessing right now with the MrBeast. I don't even know what to call it. It's worse than a controversy. This is like disaster piece theater. This is some wild-ish, because there are so many different facets. Like the Ava Kris Tyson and her wildly inappropriate, disgusting, monstrous boss-employee relationship with young kids was like, as a dad, this is my other thing. So one of the dudes that verified this stuff happened, like the language, the talking, how Ava Kris Tyson was communicating with minors on Discord. how this got verified is like one of these kids, his name's Lava CS or something on Twitter, came out on Twitter and said like, hey, yeah, all that stuff was true, but you know, I wasn't groomed, and like complete denial, right? The kid's a little bit older now. And then the Discord chats were posted, and he said, "Oh, okay, I don't remember it exactly how I thought. You know, this was some years ago, and that was wildly inappropriate." Like he has had to correct his story on Twitter a few times, and each time he goes, "Oh, well, I still wasn't groomed, but it was wildly inappropriate, and I don't stand by anything that happened. It wasn't just some jokes," which at first he had said. And I think he corrected himself even once again. And it's it's just baffling, like the scope, the effectiveness of how many different people, the denial of how many different people, and what we're seeing now is that because a few people spoke out, and that it's been verified. This isn't like some wild accusations. Like the dude Lava was like, yes, that happened. And that's all he needed to do. He was like, yeah, oh, yeah, that totally happened, but it wasn't that bad. I'm not, you know, the victim of grooming or whatever. And everybody was like, that's what the victim of grooming would say. Once some of this like came out as legitimate, and MrBeast obviously hasn't said nothing besides his one tweet, like, well, we're looking into it, I just learned of this, like the most generic bullshit ever. That's when other people who were terrified to speak out felt safe, you know, and that's why it seems like an avalanche, because now everybody's like, oh shit, okay, I got to tell my story too. Like if this is the time, because it's like whack-a-mole for MrBeast, you know, he's sending cease and desist to YouTubers from making videos on this. So the more people that speak out, you know, the better chance they have to get their story told without, you know, if they were the only one, the empire of MrBeast, that's what it is. This is the MrBeast empire disaster piece theater story. I gotta read some of these comments. Easier to thread the eye of a needle with a camel than deliver a rich man to salvation. Yup, 100%. It's more of a product than a project. Yeah. Well, and so, you know, some of the victims have confirmed that this is happening. This happened on Discord with Ava. MrBeast made one tweet. You would think he would say more. The guy with a platform of 300 million subscribers clearly doesn't want anyone to know or talk about this. It's not only why he's not addressing it, because you'd figure if none of this was true, right? You just want to at least get out there and be like, yeah, this is, well, I mean, we saw P. Diddy do that. What happened? I guess MrBeast saw that, is trying another route, because I don't really know like what the proper reaction to this would be, but it's looking pretty damning. And the other fascinating thing, I can't turn my tablet on. I'm pretty pissed. It just won't turn on. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, wait, can I get into it a different way? I wanted to show you guys this that I linked in the video. Oh, it's not letting me. Anyways, a part of working for MrBeast, you have to sign. It often takes years for victims to speak out. Not only years, but like, that's the weird thing. It's like, it takes really someone to be insanely brave. The proper reaction is disgust. Marissa, 100%. Because like, and that's, thank you. That's what MrBeast's tweet, the only thing he's done to address this, lacked. It lacked disgust. Because if he's saying, like, I just, and see, I'm so pissed, because I wanted to bring all this stuff up. Again, I linked videos, articles, all down in the description, so you can read, watch the stuff yourself. But Marissa, that's 100% it. Because in his tweet, he's like, I'm just learning about this. It's shocking. I'll have a third-party investigation going. Like, if you just found out your best friend was doing this and you truly weren't in the Discords, you'd be like, what the like, this is totally out of control, and I'm pulling the cord on this dude. He's out of the company. You know, we'll go to the full extent of the law to make sure that this creep is handled. You know, and he just lacked any of that. It was almost more of like, what should I write? What should I write if I didn't know any of this? Um, exactly. People have no shame anymore because they want to act however they want. Well, listen, I really think like the money and power, like MrBeast is YouTube's golden boy. I don't think he thinks he can do any wrong. And I think he's about to get a severe reality check. I think he thinks he can bully people or silence them in different ways. And what I was about to bring up and wanted to show you was when you work for MrBeast, you obviously sign a contract. And there's also, I'm guessing, many guidelines or protocols or welcome pamphlets that teach you the MrBeast way. And one of these got leaked. Again, not sure how real it is. I'm going off of other YouTubers showing this around. But it's also something that I know personally to be true. I'm not sure if the exact language, if this exact contract that they were showing people or the MrBeast guideline was the exact truth. It might have been a replicant or something. But I know this is true because if you apply for a MrBeast job, you can go to MrBeastJobs.com. And if you ever get to interview with them, they'll explain to you like, you know, we need people who can just get things done. That, you know, no doesn't really exist. And they are very clear with that when you're interviewing with them. I interviewed with them once. I had a second application, or a second offer to interview with them again, and I just blew it off. And this paragraph says no doesn't mean no. And these YouTubers are taking it like, oh, that's a weird thing to say, because imagine that with a girl. But he's not talking about that. He's talking about in like a salesy, cheap used carman sales marketing way. Like no never means no. Never take no for an answer. Like in Tommy Boy, we take no shit from nobody. No for an answer. We don't take no for an answer. If you've seen Tommy Boy, great movie. So I don't translate it into anything else than that. But when you consider that aspect of his company, right? And this is a guy who clearly, like, that's his way. Like, he'll do anything. What was bothering most about the paragraph, and that's really I wanted to show it to you, because they don't talk about how, like, we're the biggest YouTuber. We make hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, if they're saying no, offer them more money. Make it worth their time. That's not the language in this paragraph. And that's the concerning part, because if their language for MrBeast, the biggest, wealthiest YouTuber ever, I'm pretty sure, 100 millionaire, was like, we don't take no for an answer, because if we need to rent out a dollar store, we'll pay them what their profits were for the month. Or, you know what I mean? Like, make it worth their time. That's not what he did, what the language was, what they insinuated, nothing. What you see in that paragraph is like, ask if the manager is a fan of MrBeast's channel. See if they want me to DM him on Twitter. It's all about like slick, slimy, trying to grease the paws of like, are you a big fan of ours? Let us abuse that power and get you to say yes to something you had already said no to. And that's fucking gross. You know, like, consider all the options that you have as MrBeast, right? You're like, we could make it worth their time for money. We could, you know, promote their store on the channel and get a reach of 300 million people. Like, there are so many other avenues to make it valuable for them, to add value for them. I got from Tony Robbins. How do you have value? Fucking big teeth, motherfucker. Tommy Boy, top 10 all time. Might even be number 1. I don't know if there's a better comedy movie. Go off in the comments. Simp a thizzing. Tito, I love you. So I want you to consider that, right? The wealthiest YouTuber of all time. Stacks of cash. His whole fucking YouTube persona is like briefcases of money. Deal or no deal, bitch. Like, this dude rolls up with hard cash all the time. Paper money. People don't even have paper money anymore. It's all Bitcoins. And instead of, that no doesn't mean no. Like, we don't take no for an answer. Instead of Mr. Beast following that protocol in his welcome packet to his employees, or whatever that thing is, I don't know what you call it, a contract, or, worker orientation, that we don't take no from anybody. No doesn't mean no. Again, I couldn't bring it up. My iPad's not working. Instead of him saying, like, ask if their kids are fans, ask if they're fans. It's all based on, like, do they have family who are fans of Mr. Beast? They say, even at one point in the paragraph, like, call it different. If we're trying to rent out a Dollar Tree, use a Dollar Tree, call it a different one and see if that manager's fans of the channel. Like, that's the most fucking crazy, power-hungry, simping is a fizzing. We don't take no prisoners. I love Tommy Boy. Kiwi farms. I love kiwis. Don't you talk bad about my kiwis. And salute to all my friends in New Zealand. What's up, my sky? Anyways, Mr. Beast tries to finagle people to say yes. Not by adding value, but just by seeing if they'll simp for him. Essentially seeing if these people love him so much that they'll just go back on their word and allow him to do whatever. Basically abuse, right? But it's all in the context of business, so it's not. That's abuse. Like, how much do you love me? Do you love me enough to make that no turn into a yes? When, and this is my issue with that, and no YouTubers, Camnuggets, who's doing a great job covering this, Mujin, some ordinary gamers, none of them, well, I don't know if some ordinary gamers has covered this yet. But the people, oh no, my cam is lagging, sorry. But the people who have covered this and talked about the no doesn't mean no, they've translated it into like a dating scenario, and that's a cheapskate shot, because they don't mean it like that. They mean it like, we're going to get a yes from them. Like used car salesman energy. Like, we got to get this done, and we're going to get a yes from whoever we want a yes from. Which is scummy, right? Used car salesmen are not, like, notoriously used as, like, high moral characters in any scenario. But it also says so much, because this isn't used cars. This is the biggest YouTuber in the fucking world. And he's not saying, like, offer them more. Like, if I was making hundreds of millions, if I was in his shoes, here's the simple answer. Somebody says no, double the money. Money talks, and I got it. And that's what that would be my whole paragraph under no doesn't mean no. And people wouldn't question it. They'd be like, oh, damn, I want to work for that dude. Or I want to work with that dude, because he's going to double the money if I say no. And you just clearly, like, offer them whatever they need, Like, oh, you don't want to shut down your business for a week? We'll pay you for 2 weeks of shutting down your business. Like, he can do that. Jimmy Donaldson can do that. And he chooses not to. Which tells me that all of this, like, oh, Beast philanthropy, I like to do good stuff, is all a cover. And if it's not, where are the people saying, hey, he did philanthropy for me and didn't film it? You don't see a lot of those people speaking out. And if they start coming out, then I'll get on here and say, oh, damn, I was wrong. Look at all the people look at the silent majority. Look at all the people who were dead silent, and he was helping them. But I know people that I worked for that had a 501c3 whatever charity, and they used it for cover. They were scumbags. And anytime they got called out on anything, they would go, oh, really? Yeah, it's a horrible guy that does charity. And they used it like a shield. And I got a feeling like Mr. Beast knew this day was coming. And he also exploits people who need charity, which is horrible. Not saying he doesn't do good stuff off camera, but I'm just saying, like, all of these things are lending to him being a specific person, and it's the person that these others are alleging he is. It all kind of goes together, and it's shitty. It's really shitty, because this is the guy who had the attention of children for years, hopefully no more. And he knows his audience is made up of kids around the world. That's why they translate their videos into all different kinds of languages. And it's shitty that you see a dude who I don't think has the best intentions. His only intention, and I think he said this, I think other people have said this that worked with him, his only intention is to get views and clicks. That's it. Make a bit bigger video, make more money, and then make another bigger video, and however he has to get that. And that's always been the haunting thing in all of his videos. He's never, even in his first viral video where he gave the homeless dude $10,000, he wasn't talking about like how bad I want to change this guy's life. Like I want to follow up with this guy. You know, when I get huge, I want to look back and go back and maybe offer him more money or see how he's doing. He don't talk like that. And yeah, he was a kid, but people praise him like he talked like that. He wasn't talking like that. He was talking like, you give me $10,000 instead of 5 and I'll go viral. It was all about him. It was never about like, we need to help this dude. And then we need to look at, why is this dude homeless? Can we fix the system? If I get big enough, can I help impact new ways to fix the system? You don't hear him talking like that. This dude talks like, well, look what I did. And I helped them. And I need you to like everything I do. There's no focus on anyone besides himself. Watch his language. I mean, it's just that simple. Go back. I watch his interviews. I don't watch his videos that he posts, but I'll watch interviews with him because I think you learn a lot about people when you hear them talk. And I've never heard him speak like, yeah, you know what that homeless dude's doing now? Or, you know what? I've learned so much since that first homeless encounter, and it's even sadder that there's more homeless people or that so many people are desperate to get this money. And, you know, like he's so just unaware. Sorry. Let's see. Kanye made good music. A few days. Jesus. What is this? Kanye's alter account in here, Beanie? Anyways. There's no denying, though, that, like, Kanye, genius to him, right? When he was making certain songs, like, I mean, what he was producing, you can't deny that. Just like what MrBeast did in paving the road to virality, you can't deny there was some genius in that. There was a spark of genius in him saying, don't give me 5,000, give me 10,000, I'm going to give it to a homeless guy. But people got it twisted like, oh, this dude's a hero because he did that. Like, he didn't do that like on his own. He filmed that. He did that to boost his status. He was not doing that, you know, just out of the goodness of his heart. If there was no camera there, and that's the other thing you see in all of this expose, this, you know, disaster piece theater that's happening around MrBeast, is you're seeing outtakes of him being like, hey, can you look a little more shocked or look a little more sad or look surprised or can you cry for this money? Like really twisting the knife of exploitation into these people that are desperately like, oh my God, this money could change my life. And he's like, yeah, but you don't get it unless you look a little more surprised. And it's just horrible, you know, especially coming from a guy who like, he'll never worry about rent. This is what it always boils back down to me, for me. Like, yeah, he grew up worrying about rent, or his parents did, but, like, if you truly felt that, right? You truly understood that pain. You just think you'd be more aware, more caring, more, I don't know what the word is. It's got to be more aware with your platform. Like to be so myopic and only focused on just getting bigger, just beating PewDiePie, just beating T-Series, just getting the most subscribers, and then lying along the way is shitty. I'm really bummed. This stream is not going to be what I wanted it to be because this fucking iPad will not turn on. And Neil Brennan's stand-up hour. Absolutely amazing. Love Neil Brennan. There was more stuff with the MrBeast. The No Means No, I really wanted to tackle that because these YouTubers that keep equating it to like dating, it's not. He's talking in a business aspect, and that's one spot where you got to kind of, you know, put people in check. Like he's not talking about no means no with women, even though there are allegations with people close to him that obviously are gnarly, monstrous things. But I don't, you know, I don't think that it's the same. Like, he didn't write that to mean that. you can't twist his intent. His intent was very specific. Like, find a fan of ours and let's bend their will, and make them, go against go against what they've said. He's like, clearly, like, we can like what's it? When you make people unethical, like, we can totally do that to them because we're MrBeast. The other thing I wanted to bring up is this Tim Walz. What's his name? Walz? I don't know. The guy who's running for VP, or who Kamala picked for VP. I didn't know he was a union dude. He was in the National Teachers Association or Federation or Education. He was a union teacher. I don't know when the last time we had a union guy running for VP or president, but that's rad. In fact, if Kamala would just drop out and just let him run, I might vote. He talked about these hyper successful people all being crazy. Oh, so Kanye. Okay, so that's what it is. That's such a good point or thing to talk, like a point of discussion. Like, does the success make you crazy? Are they crazy and that creates the success? I think you could argue for both. That's something that balls to the walls. I hope they put that on t-shirts for him. But that's a Beanie and Bandito. That's an interesting point, because you could argue that Kanye and Jimmy Donaldson are a bit crazy. Like, to allow some of the things that MrBeast has allowed going on around him, if you follow in the controversy, he'd have to be crazy to like allow that to happen while running a multi-million-dollar operation. Now to think you're too big, that you can't too big to fail. Like, you gotta be crazy. But you also gotta be crazy to, what did he do? Count to 1,000, or think to give someone $10,000 to film it and get that reaction, Because I'll tell you what, if I was gonna give someone $10,000, I wouldn't want to film it. I would feel like that's such a scummy thing to do. I guess if I just wanted to really go viral, then I would. But you know what I mean? Like, my first gut reaction is like, no, let's not film. Like, let's give it to him and like just fucking let him, like, be like, yo, here, I hope life gets better. And to think like, ooh, let's film it, let's get the reaction, make sure like get the wide angle on their reaction. Let's see if we can get them to cry. That would be better. Like, that's fucking demented to me. I don't know. So you could say that he was a little crazy for that. Just like you could say Kanye was crazy to think up some of the beats to do what he was doing. He was, Renaissance man when it came to it. But you could also say that the fame drove him nuts. I don't know. Are they crazy so they get successful? Or does the success make them crazy? I don't know. That's such a good... I don't know. What came first, chicken or the egg? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. I don't want to say a little bit of both, but... so yeah, back to the VP. Tim Walz is a union guy, which that's what this country needs. I wish I could just vote for him for president. I do not like Kamala. I do not like Trump or Couchfucker. I don't like any of them. But I really like the union dude. And everything I've read about him doing in Minnesota, like giving kids free lunch and, he's helping people get better paid sick time, paid leave, all these different things for workers, for the working class. I think that's what America needs. Somebody who's going to look out for us. And I seen these posts on Reddit saying like, Tim Walz doesn't have any investments, doesn't own any real estate, has the net worth of something. Is he financially illiterate? And I'm like, you dopes. You want, like, he's not fine. Maybe he just has made those choices. He's obviously the governor. He's made a lot of good choices. He's helped the people. Just because he's not, in Wall Street's pocket, he's a union dude. Like, let's judge other things. But it's funny. That's where they're searching for, to try to take this guy down a peg. And I just say, God bless him. Union man. I'd love to see it for America. But I think that's going to be it for tonight. I promise. If the live stream tomorrow, if I learn some more new stuff about MrBeast, I promise I will have this charged and restarted, because I really wanted to show you the leaked letters, the leaked contract or guidelines of working for MrBeast. The no means no stuff. Once you see it, it's jarring. Skull Vikings, let's go. That's a deep cut. I don't know any of that. Was he the Skull Vikings football coach? But I'll have the iPad charged and we'll get into it. I highly recommend watching the videos I linked down below. If you're more interested about the union vice presidential candidate, I linked a couple of Puck the Patriots. Yeah, fuck him. I don't like Robert Kraft. Or Bill Belichick. He got on my nerves after a decade. All his not talking to the media. It's like, get over yourself, man. He's a high school coach. Oh, that's cool. So what was I getting at? I don't know. It's late. Oh, in the description, if you want to read about the VP being a union man, if you want to watch the videos, Camnuggets, Mujin, if you have some time, the 1.5-hour deep dive into MrBeast is very good. It goes through the backstory, what's going on, what potentially could be going on, and he shows a little bit of both sides, mostly allegations though, and the stuff that's been verified, online verified. Let's make that clear. Allegedly. And I would stay up to date with Camnuggets because there's some people covering the story. But it's just fascinating, man. You'd think MrBeast, who is known for being the face of YouTube, would come out and say something more than the small thing he already has. Instead, he's speaking through lawyers, giving people cease and desists, which is nuts. Nuts. I hate when people try to silence their critics. Well, come out, man. Come out and just talk, you know? But the story isn't going anywhere. It's so wild to me when I keep thinking about Cat Williams. Cat Williams, was it the beginning of this year, said 2024. Everything done in the dark will be brought to the light. And look at what has happened in 2024. Insane, right? Like Cat Williams. Gotta find out what else he's thinking is gonna happen in the future. Dude's a soothsayer. All right, I'm out of here. It's wicked late, but I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully with a charged iPad. I thank you, Bandito, for being here. Beanie, trying to see who else was here. Marissa Taylor, thank you guys all, everybody else who joined. And please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. I can't tell you subscribe for a cookie because I'd be a fucking liar. But subscribe because I bring you news, entertainment, comedy, satire, sarcasm, and commentary. And sometimes videos. I'm working on a Tony Robbins video. I can't get myself to edit it. Let's be honest. This thing's been like 2 months in the making. I'm really struggling, and I'm sorry. I will release a recorded video soon, but until then, hit subscribe for the 5-day-a-week, weekday lives, and the occasional recorded video. Peace out, Bandito. Hey, hit me up on Fortnite, man. I was streaming today on Fortnite. I want to start streaming on Fortnite. Bandito, you should join the stream. You got to send me a friend request because I can't request you. So hit me up. Let's play some Fortnite together. Today I was doing a masterclass on how to be mediocre on Fortnite. That was my live stream. Because I kept getting blasted. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you could, hit that little thumbs up. You just got to double tap the screen. You don't get to play that much. Yeah, I get it. I've just been trying to do more streaming stuff because I'm avoiding editing this Tony Robbins video. I'm just avoiding editing it. Plus, there's so much going on with MrBeast and in some things in the news. I'm trying to keep up with that, but whew, it's nice to get away and just play some Fortnite for a little bit. So when you do get a chance, don't worry about it. Eyewitness, boo. Well, boo. Oh, eyewitness. I like your avatar and your handle. That's cool as F. Oh yeah, hit the Discord. And oh, by the way, such a weird time for me to start a Discord reading about all the controversies surrounding MrBeast Discord, but we've got a Discord. What's going on here? Shahir? Boo! Oh, I love your ghost emojis. We're wrapping up the live, man. We're talking about MrBeast. It's been on for an hour. So I gotta go. But please, Shahir, if I'm pronouncing that right, I hope I am, an eyewitness, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live 5 days a week. I talk news, commentary, entertainment, politics. I talk about everything, man. And I would love for you guys to join, so hit the notification bell so when I do go live tomorrow, you can join up. Okay? Thank you for the heart, eyewitness. Double tap the Bandito keeps saying, double tap the screen to win a Cybertruck. Listen, if MrBeast can say subscribe for a cookie and not mean it, he hasn't given 307 million people a cookie. I'm subscribed to him. He hasn't given me a cookie. I should be able to say double tap screen for a Cybertruck. I'm not going to say that and mean it, but like that's the same fucking thing. It's like thank you, Bandito, for doing that again, because that's it. It's like, what's the difference? He's promising a cookie. I'm promising a Cybertruck, and it's all not real, you know. But at least I'm telling you that I'm not saying that or I'm not doing that. He has, and I'm gonna make sure the thumbnail goes up for this video. He has a video of him he made a poster that said subscribe for a cookie, 100% real. He's a liar. Give us our cookies. Although at this point, with all the controversy, I don't know if I want a cookie anymore. No, I always want a cookie. All right, guys. Peace.